Greetings everybody, welcome to our preview for Thursday at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. I think the first thing that we can talk about though is let's backtrack to Africa's greatest horse race, the Hollywoodbets Durban July on Saturday. I trust that you enjoyed it. I trust that you had a successful and enjoyable day. A couple of very well fancied horses won, but more than that, credit to Dean Kannemeyer, to Craig Zaki, and to the Real Prince, to Kaya Stables and her team. Lady Laidlaw, of course, at the helm, Johan Malherbe pulling all the strings behind the scenes. That was one of the most enjoyable race meetings I've ever been to. For me, the Hollywoodbets Durban July that really hit home most in terms of everything that led up to it, the fever that built more than perhaps what we've seen in the last decade or so, and just overall the racing, the product and everything that came together on the first Saturday of July. And from all of us here in the Race Coast team, we trust that you had a good one. Now, as for this Thursday, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to be too in-depth with regard to who's riding whom, because obviously we've got a double header with Turfentine on the Thursday. So let's bear in mind that the potential of jockey changes and scratchings, and hopefully we have this race meeting all in all. I do have some market as far as Hollywood Bets is concerned. I'll take you through all of that. Now, let's kick off with the first race, which gets underway at 12:55 on the Thursday. The market shows number 3, Marcus Aurelius is the favourite at 28-10. Number 8, Rock and Rollin', 4-1, same price. Number 12, Day In Day Out. Number 11, Black Eagles, a 9-2 shot. And then 13-2 about number 2, Blind Date, double figures about the others. Now, this is how I read the first race on the card. Rock and Rollin' from the Andre Null stable. Good day for Andre at Hollywoodbets Gravel at the July. Number 8, Rock and Rollin' ran a very pleasing debut. He's a son of Wooten Bassett. His stats, his record, and his demand around the world needs no introduction. I thought the debut was a good one when running 5th behind Follow Your Heart. I'm going to go down the same avenue in race number 2 for what it's worth. What might beat number 8, Rock and Rollin', is the fact that he's back in a sprint. There's obviously no harm putting him back in a sprint, because just brush off the cobwebs, teach him a lot more. But I think he'll take a big step forward from his first start to his second start, number 8, Rock and Rollin', and I think that he poses the horse that they all need to beat. Dangers, obviously, the market tells you number 3, Marcus Aurelius, has got a lot of scope to improve. He ran into a bit of traffic on debut and beaten 2 3/4 lengths by Spirit. We do need to see how that form's going to work out. And he too is going to be looking for a trip, being by Legislate out of a mare by Ideal World. So probably going to step up with a little bit more stamina under the belt. 6, Prince of Egypt, very well bred son of Vercingetorix, so expect him to potentially come on. Black Eagle and Day In Day Out look like they're on the right track. And number 13, Behave Harris, also bred for a lot further, but made a very pleasing debut. But all in all, I'm going to go with a little bit of reputation here to kick off our day. Number 8, Rock and Rollin', to win race number 1. Race number 2 on the card as the first leg of the bipod gets underway at 1:30. The market shows a very short price, 12-10 favourite. Number 4, Wishlist at the top of the boards. Number 10, Queen Regent at 28-10. And number 1, Precocious, 11-2. Double figures about the others. I'm in full agreement with the market. I think number 4, Wishlist, is going to take all the beating in the first leg of the place accumulator. Richard Ferree is on board. Now, I sent Justin Staith a message as they crossed the line. I called her debut and I was so impressed. Being by Legislate out of a Wilkeborst Drift Oaks winning mare in the form of Wind Chill. She had no right to run like that on debut. She showed a little bit of pace. She wasn't too green on debut, but the way that she stuck around, she gutsed it out. She finished 3rd behind Paralegal. Yeah, I suppose you've got to put a question mark next to the form, and there was an alarming drift about her on debut from 14-1 to 33-1. For me, I just think expectations were low over 1,200 metres first up, and I think they expected a little bit more to come as life goes on and potentially going over a mile. Back over 1,200 metres, that would remain the one question mark, because I think if she is going to be a racehorse, she is not going to be a sprinter whatsoever. But the debut was just too good to ignore, and I think that she's going to take a power of beating when it comes to race number 2. 10, Queen Regent, looks like she's on the right track, ran behind Una the Unicorn in the penultimate start. She looks like she's got a lot to come as a 3-year-old filly in the making, a rising 3-year-old, and then last time behind Claire de Lune was a very good effort when potentially she should have run second. Safiso Bungane is off for a month after that ride, and the well-bred number 12, Give Me What I Want, probably also set up for a little bit further as time goes on. There's no reason to write off number 1, Precocious, on the back of a second run that was a little bit flat. The debut would bring her into the picture, but I like what I saw from number 4, Wishlist. I'm going to keep her on sides, and I'm going to make her a banker in the first leg of the place accumulator, which is being revealed to you. Banker 4 by 5 and 6, by 5, 7, 8, by 7 and 9, by 9, 10, 11, by Banker 4, by 1, 3 and 6 at the back. Race number 3 will start the pick 6 on this 8-race card. It's the Hollywoodbets.net A stakes over 1,100 metres. Just take note of 2 scratchings, so we're down to a very small field here. 2 and 4, Gem King and Mukapatano are out. So how can we make money? The race now runs at 2 for what it's worth, and the market shows number 3 Dumbledore at 18-10, joint with number 5 Kaiboy, 1 Dean Street 28-10, 6 Time for Orchid 6-1, and number 7 Global State, the Gavin Smith trained runner, is at double figures. So making money in race number 3 is not going to be the easiest, because I think we've got to tread quite carefully here. I'm going to put up 5 and 6 Kaiboy and Time for Orchids as the 2 to focus on, obviously with a lot of respect for number 3 Dumbledore. No way that we can shortchange his chances, but I think Kaiboy is just a young 3-year-old on the right track. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's beaten Dumbledore before. I know the weights don't necessarily suit him this time around. Dumbledore comes in very well weighted for a 3/4 of a length beating, but with that said, I think Kaiboy's still got a little bit more to come. He's maturing all the while, and what we saw, I'm using Tanango as a case in point, and I know Tanango obviously had issues as a 3-year-old, wind issues as a 3-year-old. Look at the horse, look at the 4-year-old he is now compared to the 3-year-old he was. You would never have thought he'd be a Hollywoodbets Scottsville Golden Horse contender. He won that with ease. He's nominated for the Mercury Sprints at the end of the month. I'm not for one moment suggesting Kaiboy is going to follow in those footsteps and hit those heights. The point is, still with a little bit of time, with the summer still to come really to test himself, I think that he could be quite dangerous when we get to races like the Merchants and who knows, maybe even the Diadem and the Cape flying on WSB Cape Town Met Day. 6 Time for Orchid spent time in Cape Town as a younger horse. She didn't rip up any trees, but she's back in the Cape. She's mixed it with some very, very good horses on the half field. I thought her last run was flat, but she returned blowing. She's worth another go. The conditions of the race do suit her, being a filly and getting a sex allowance, so I wouldn't let her run loose when it comes to various bet types. Like I said, a field of 5, making money is not going to be the easy task, but enjoying the race will be the easy task. My suggestion when it comes to race number 3 is an exacta, boxed exacta, 5 and 6. Race number 4 starts Jackpot 1, Centenary Syndicate Open Maiden, 1,700 metres is the distance. No scratching to report at the time of recording, and 14:40 is when the race gets underway. Number 5, Red State, 18-10, joint favourite with number 8, Rare Earth. 4, Fortin Preza is at 5-1, and I'm happy to report number 7, Not Wanted, an 8-1 shot, because I think that's the value in a race that I think lies between 3 horses. Those 3 horses being 5, 7 and 8. Number 7, Not Wanted. Let's have a look at the last start when she ran behind subsequent winner Ario Vistas. Ario Vistas won a race, got to be many divisions stronger than this. What puts me off, second run after a long break, but I think what puts me into the right direction is the fact that Brevin Plakeys takes the right. I think he's on his way to being champion apprentice. Brevin, the improvement from run 1 to run 2, when we spoke to Vaughan Marshall and perfectly placed before that run on the 1st of June, he expected that improvement, and improvement was in the locker. If not running out of real estate over 1,700 metres, I can see the Son of Futura being a force, and if he does continue on that trend of improvement, I can see him being a force. Blinkers obviously made a world of difference. What might catch him out though is the weight, 61, yeah, -1.5, but because he's lightly raced and hasn't established a rating yet, he does have to give some weight away. So number 5, Red State, who banging at the door, this filly 55 kilos in the back. The fact that Gavin had committed to ride 55 kilos on number 5, Red State, has to be a very positive sign, and then also making mention of a few down the page in the form of Rare Earth, who's very much in the market. Number 8 on the card in those lucky Longmore colours. Louis Mkotwa was carded to take the ride, but vast improvement last time out. Been sparingly raced, so obviously not been the easiest to get on track, but now on a racing routine, you can expect something to come from her. But I think the value lies with number 7, Not Wanted, at a price of 8-1, and as far as a place bet is concerned on Hollywoodbets, you're getting about 11-10, so it could represent some place value when it comes to race number 4. Race number 5 starts Jackpot 2, Race Cape Power by Hollywoodbets Class 5, 1,400 metres, and 15:20, 3 is when they get underway. The market shows number 7, Firing on All Engines at 5-2, number 9, Follow Your Heart 7-2, 10 In a Timely Manner is at 9-2, 7-1 number 11, Mela Strength, and number 6, Augusta Blue, an 8-1 shot, 10-1 number 4, Ozark, and double figures about the others in race number 5. Now, how do I see this race? It's very interesting because we've got 2 very promising 2-year-olds at the right level to be dangerous as Class 5 level against the older tenacity of number 7, Firing on All Engines. Now, this Michelle Ricks Harold Crawford runner has really got a mound of his own, but he is such a trier. He gives of his absolute best. I thought his win last time where he was collared and came back and held on to deny Lovers Lane, who runs later on the card by a short head. Penultimate start beaten linked by that tank in the form of Happy Verse. Even his run on WSB Cape Town Met Day when he finished 4th behind Legal Counsel. Legal Counsel's gone to Durban, and when he comes back, he's going to be a few divisions better than this. Number 7, firing on all engines, looking to go back-to-back. One thing you know about him, he's going to give the rider a very tough time, but he's also not going to throw in the towel. He's going to run his race. He's going to give of his best. And for that reason, he's a difficult horse to ignore and deserves his place at the top of the boards. As for these 2-year-olds, 9, Follow Your Heart, and 10, In a Timely Manner. They try the bend for the first time in their lives. They try the distance for the first time in their lives. How will they go over the trips? Well, genetics tell you that number 10, In a Timely Manner, should love the distance, related to Ina Marare, another good salt-of-the-earth handicapper who was at his best in the middle distance range. Don't know what he beat first time out, number 10, In a Timely Manner, but there have been a few horses of high regard who ran in behind who haven't done too much, but all he could do was win, and he won well, the number 10, In a Timely Manner. He's got 61.5, that won't be easy. Number 9, Follow Your Heart, as far as the breeding is concerned, might be challenged, might be stretched over this distance, but he beat Star Major. And what I saw from Star Major on Langeman race day, that is going to be a horse that is going to excite me going into the Cape Summer. I think he's got quite a lot to come. So of the 2-year-olds, who is going to pose the biggest danger? Lean on number 9, Follow Your Heart, but I wouldn't leave it as a closed case. So the suggested bet when it comes to race number 5 is going to be box swingers number 7 and 9. Race number 6, last chance to play a pick 3 at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. Champagne Syndicate Class 4 for fillies and mares over 1,400 metres. There's a bit of a swirl, to be honest. The 6th race on the card runs at 5-4. Number 1, Golden Angel, and 10, Oni San are both at 9-2. 11, La Davina, 5-1. 13, Rahaba, 7-1. 2, Ocotillo is an 8-1 shot. And I like a 10-1 hope in this race. Number 9, Supreme Fate from the James Crawford stable. I'm going to go with a solid each-way play, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Now, last time, she caught the eye, this daughter of Master of My Fate. She stayed on very strongly to finish 4th behind Shwiontek. I like the run to Give Me Everything, although at the time Give Me Everything was very wet behind the ears and immature, and she only stepped forward from that. She beat Wild Applause at her penultimate start when Wild Applause was touted to be impossible to beat. I know Wild Applause had to go to PE to win, and Wild Applause runs in Fairview on Friday, what, by the way, looks like a very appetizing card. But the post-maiden effort fills me with a lot of hope for number 9, Supreme Fate. Now, on that start, Supreme Fate finished just behind Rahaba and Oni San, in front of Miss New York, Garden of Eden, and Senora Victoria. The weights tell you Garden of Eden must have a legitimate chance of being a runner. So that's a little bit of food for thought, and should be able to turn that form around, or go very close to turning it around. Rahaba and Oni San, by virtue of finishing front of Supreme Fate, would be massive dangers as well and have to be considered. But I think the fresh legs, I think the fact that she's maturing, taking on horses that might well be in their place, that are informed, to be fair, but where to from here? I think Supreme Fate might have a little bit more to come. And from that perspective, I make her an appetizing proposition when it comes to race 6. Is it a one-horse race? Absolutely not. Golden Angel, well overdue. Ocotillo finally got a confidence-boosting win under the belt last time. Whenever Craig Bantam and Dream Searcher team up, not one to ignore. Garden of Eden got to be one of the more unlucky horses around, so she'll go into many a pick 6 as well. Champagne Kisses on the back of her good last win when she ran all by herself to the outside. Oni San, still a one-time winner from 23, but consistent. La Davina, Senora Victoria, Rahaba, they're all in the conversation, but I believe that there's a lot of value to be had about number 9, Supreme Fate, and from that perspective, I want to make her the one to follow when it comes to race number 6. Race 7, not easy, celebrating Centurion member Roberta Young's birthday, D Stakes over 1,100 metres. As far as the 7th race is concerned, the race now gets underway at 4:30. 4 Lovers Lane, 5-2, with the Social Squad rival, number 10, Gravity at 4-1, 5-1, 7 Champagne Mac, 5 Tambourine Man is at 11-2, number 8 Winter on the Green 7-1, and double figures about the others. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I think the Social Squad will be seen to good effect. Number 4 Lovers Lane, Paul Reeves trains. The last start on the 12th of June, finished 2nd behind Firing on All Engines. You'll get a good idea how that form is going to work out by the time this race gets underway. He's well overdue. He's due a reward for consistency. He's been banging at the door at this type of level, at Class 5 level. All the places tend to turn return to winners. And I know that he got a £1 penalty for being a loser last time. Heads up, heads down, could have gone either way. He could have been a £1 penalty for being a winner had the nose gone down the other time, and if he never came up against Firing on All Engines, who was such a tenacious horse. Son of Crusade, got to be cherry ripe, got to go well. Since moving stables, done very little wrong, gone third, gone second, and I think that he can go one better. If he has a danger, and he does have dangers because the nature of the race tells you that they're going to be dangers aplenty, because nothing here is bulletproof. Number 10, Gravity, could very well be it. Corne Offer on board for Pete Buerta. On that last run, does have a bit of work to do, 2.5 lengths, call it, to turn it around with Firing on All Engines, and the weights don't tell you he'll be able to. In fact, the weights tell you that he's got no chance to, because he had Brevin Plaikes on last time with an apprentice allowance, but just for pure consistency and being able to pop up and being a good horse over this trip could well suit him. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and make him a little bit of a place chance. So box swing is 4 and 10 when it comes to race number 7. The 8th and last Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, 5 past 5. That'll be the end of the 16-race feast on the South African calendar on the Thursday. Number 3, the Charleston, 7-2. Number 6, Peace of Mind, 4-1. Same price. Number 7, Inside Voice. Number 1, Poetic Princess. 2, Golden Tatiana, and 9, Lassa, all 7-1, and double figures about the others. See, there's a new apprentice here for the South African Jockey Academy based in the Western Cape to sink their teeth into. So if they could get Brevin Plaikes onto the straight and narrow, and Safiso Bungane running a couple of winners. Good luck to Varun Jody. Hopefully he can get into the swing of things here very quickly. The key horse here could be the Charleston. This is number 3 on the card. Candice Bass, Brevin Plaikes, they team up. Last start would have needed it. Finished third to Pink Pigeon. Pink Pigeon, a little bit disappointing at Hollywoodbets Greyville on July Day on Saturday, but from the draw on the poly, for me, there are enough excuses. I think Pink Pigeon will win a few races regardless of where she ends up. And I think the Charleston, just on the back of rating drops. I know that she's still off an 83, but the apprentice allowance will just lighten the load a little bit. 98 down to an 83, number 3, the Charleston. Got to be close to now or never for this daughter of the United States, and she showed that last time out that she could very well be on the right track. From that last run on the 12th of June, Peace of Mind finished in front of her. Poetic Princess finished behind her, as did Princess on the Run, She's My Captain, and Golden Tatiana. Peace of Mind has waited to stay in front of the Charleston, but look, they both got huge chances, you would have told from our place accumulator. Peace of Mind, what Michelle Ricks has done with this horse in Cape Town has been absolutely fantastic. I remember when he won his maiden at the VAR, he collapsed after the line, and here he is still going and churning in results time and time again. Turned over by Pink Pigeon by a narrow margin last time out. Got form to Babylicious. She's got to very much be in the conversation. So is the Charleston an absolute good thing with a whole lot of dangers and form around her to work with? The answer is no. So from that perspective, let's go with the low road and make a little bit of a place bet and a case about number 3, the Charleston, in the finale at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. So from our side, that's a wrap. Weather permitting, we'll see you on Thursday. After that, the next Kenilworth, the Hollywoodbets Kenilworth race meeting is due to be on Tuesday, the 15th of July. Let's hope the weather gods play ball. We are going to be running for cover in the next 2 months. It's winter in Cape Town. What more do you expect? Trust you enjoy it, and whether you having a look up country or whether you're having a look down at the coast, may you have a wonderful day's racing. Lots going on at the moment. I mean, not too far away from the last big day of champion season in Durban, that of course being Champions Day, featuring litany of grade ones. The Whirlpool should be part of it. The HKJC Champions Cup, the Mercury Sprint, the Premier's Champion Stakes, the Tigweni Stakes. You've got the Gold Cup, the Gold Bracelet, the Umkamazi, the Debutant, the Umgeni, and the Dali Arabian. That is how you want to finish the season. Lots of Equus Awards should, and as always, will be determined by that meeting if they're not determined already. From our side, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you Thursday. Goodbye.